Welcome to the Grandma Next Door. You're listening to my mommy and daddy.
And now our feature presentation.
Hi pups and kittens, and welcome to episode 52 of The Groomer Next Door. I'm your co-host Chris Green. Sitting next to me is the delightful Sarah.
Hello.
Well, as you guys can tell, we went back to our original intro music, so no more Halloween, which really made me sad. I hope everybody had a good Halloween. We did. We tried a new idea out. We went to Trunk or Treat out here in Rolla, Missouri. That was an interesting event. Really great event. The only thing that makes it really rough is that it's ice cold because Halloween right here in Missouri, we get really cold on that day. So that was
Last year wasn't terrible, but this year, oh my word.
I think it was just about the same. You know, I don't remember. So. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't see it being terrible. I mean, Claire wore gloves and stuff, but
I was in a full dog costume, so I don't really remember. I obviously was warm the whole time. All I can remember from last year was Elizabeth was over at the house, and I snuck up behind her because she didn't know I was there in the dog costume and barked in her face or behind her back, and she yelled and screamed and yelled profanities, which is still on YouTube at this very moment. So anyways, jumping into this show, excuse me, I am still sick, which has been lovely. It doesn't seem to ever want to go away. Of course, it doesn't help that it's been hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold ever since getting this. Well, we were going to actually have a really good interview this week, but we're going to have to move it to next week from a pit rescue out in New York. I've been wanting to do some interviews all over the country and even other countries. So that's what we've been working on. Each week is talking to these different organizations, seeing who is willing to come on the show, whether you're a celebrity, you're a professional athlete, you're a shelter, whatever. So obviously booking and all that is really hard because you got to meet third time. We got to be able to make time. It's rough.
yeah, especially when we gotta work, they have other things to help support, their own rescues. So it's kind of hard to get time in there.
I am currently working on Katherine Heigl. Some of you know of her from the movie Knocked Up. Some of you know of her from, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, sorry guys, I just blanked out for some reason.
Are you talking about like Knocked Up and such?
Knocked Up. If you look way back to Roswell, she's been on a lot of shows. I know that she's involved in pet rescue. I've been trying to, get into her ear a little bit. So it is a lot of work to try to get people to want to come on this show, especially people who are actively busy. It's even harder if they're celebrities because they're busy all the time. So we're still working it out. I don't know if she'll ever be on the show, but I'm working that out. I want Kevin Smith on the show because he is really my inspiration to doing the show. And it is kind of nice to know that there are ways of doing this. There are ways. So we're still working effortlessly to get to as many people as we can, but it takes time. All right, so we don't have the interview this week with the Pit Crew Rescue out in New York, but we will have it for you in the next episode.
Yes, I was able to call him up and speak to him for a little bit to just basically get the basis of his rescue and such. We went online and we looked at, you found the links and stuff, and I went online and I looked, and he follows pretty much the same beliefs as I do when it comes to the pit bulls and how pit bull isn't really a breed, it's a type.
It's not even a good sitter.
And how there is no such thing as a red-nosed pit, blue-nosed pit. The color of their nose has no meaning to the type of dog that you'll get. So I was like, you know what, I really like this guy. I really hope we can, get him to interview. So I called him up today, and he was a little busy. We just spoke a little bit. So it's going to be set for Tuesday, and see what all he has to tell us. He had an unfortunate turn of events. He had to go away for a while, and the people who thought were helping him ended up robbing him blind.
Well, boy, that happens so often.
It took dog beds, took leashes, collars, harnesses, saws, a bunch of heavy duty equipment that he used to build all this stuff for the pit bulls that were being rescued. Really tragic story on how much he puts into this and how much everybody helps out just to get Rob blind. So we're going to have information of his too that you can go ahead and donate to them to help him get back up and running where they should have been and where he wants to be, and all the thousands of dogs that he has helped and his organization has helped. But that'll come at a later date. We'll get all that information out.
It depending on the size of it, if it's long enough, we may just release it as a special edition episode this week, or we may just post it next week. It's just, it depends on the size. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I want to do interviews all over the place. I also have a dog hospital up in Canada that I'm waiting on a response back. They're real big supporters of Purple Leash campaign, which we are too. Hopefully everybody turned out today. There was an actual march today. Hopefully everybody was able to turn out today, have a good outcome. I wish we were in Canada. I wish we could actually have been able to participate in that. So, there's a lot of things that are going on. I mean, it doesn't seem like it, but there is.
Along with all the stuff at work and Claire and such. And
well, let's go into last week.
Well, last week
Last week was, again, if you listen to last week's episode, it was really a carbon copy of that.
We had one day where every single dog was just perfect.
And they were big.
Yeah, they were big dogs, but they were perfect. Oh, they were just so good. They listened. They're all dogs that were able to train from a young age and didn't have...
Actually, a couple of them were normally not so, good-natured. They were, a lot of times, dogs have a sassy personality, just like people. Sometimes they're just going to be, jumpy, bouncy, play kind of movement.
Well, there are dogs do have good and bad days.
That is true.
They're very much like children. They sometimes can be just totally full of energy and don't want to really listen and just do their own thing. And there's days where they're just so perfect that, they have good and bad days. And you got to account for those and realize, okay, so-and-so's having a bad day. Next time's going to be better. Just, get them through, comfort them as much as possible. But still, it makes it stressful.
It does.
Grooming isn't easy work. If it was easy, everybody would do it.
I think my favorite was the lab that I had the other day.
Oh my goodness.
On Tuesday. I had mentioned I had a lab coming in, which I thought was going to be simple. No, that was a very difficult day. I actually had to have Claire's grandmother go pick her up from school because there was no way I was getting out anytime soon.
Okay, the problem with the Labrador that you had, for one, they wanted it shaved. And labs really should not be shaved.
Right.
When you start shaving down a double-coated dog, you start tinkering with the makeup of their hair. And that was the case here. This lab's been shaved so many times. The hair is so thick and so dense.
Yes.
You have to have brand new clippers, brand new blades just to go through it. And then those blades really should be sent off to be sharpened.
Yeah.
It was that bad. And the time it takes to get it to dry is insane. So, for one, the dog shouldn't have been shaved down in the first place. Second is the dog was about 3 times the size it should have been.
Oh, easily.
The body structure was of a typical lab, but it was so overweight, it couldn't sit comfortably. The hips were all out of whack. The rolls on its neck was intense. Some dogs have thyroid problems, and every ounce of calories that they eat is every ounce that adds to their weight. So there's some times where you can't exactly, there's a fine balance. You need to put your dog on medication. Get them the blandest diet you can possibly find, the lowest calories that you could possibly find, but still maintaining enough protein to keep everything going right. So not, like I said, with the coat, being a lab that's supposed to be shaved, you were just behind the 8 ball before you even started.
Oh, I was.
And some labs have such thin coats that you can shave them down and nothing's wrong. Shave it down, grow back the same. But when it has more undercoat than some other labs, since labs have been so overbred lately, you don't know what kind of lab you're going to get. So I always tell folks, look, there's a chance that your dog's not going to grow back right if we shave him down now. If we shave him down, the hair might grow back thicker. It might grow back in patches.
Well, we also have one person who brings in their dog. They have a German Shepherd. Actually, they have a few German Shepherds. What is it, 4? She has 4 German Shepherds, and right around April, she brings them all in for the full shave down.
Oh, that's Golden Retrievers.
Was it a Golden Retriever?
Our male lady?
Yeah, I thought it was Shepherds.
No, Golden Retrievers.
Huh. In my head, again, here's where my brain is. I could see a German Shepherd.
No, they're Golden Retrievers.
Really? Okay, I believe. No,
4 Golden Retrievers.
I completely believe you, but in my head, it wasn't. Huh.
Yeah, there are 4 Golden Retrievers that she said that 2 of them get highly aggressive.
Yes.
The last groomer said they're highly aggressive. And come to find out, no, they're not highly aggressive. They don't like to stand.
Yes.
And if you force them to stand, then they'll get nippy.
That's always challenging when they come in. But they come in only once a year. That was though a very similar situation with the lab though this past week. Yeah, that's the joy about recording. Again, folks, it's one of our last weeks that we're going to probably be able to record here. We're over at the Giddy Goat, like we have been doing all summer, it seems like, summer long. We'd love to come over here to the Giddy Goat and have ourselves a cup of coffee, sit outside. It isn't exactly what I'd call sit outside with coffee weather.
Yeah, it's quite chilly right now.
It is quite nippy, and probably not the right idea, but I'm kind of comfortable.
I'm holding on to the last bit of being able to go outside, keep the windows down in the car. Yeah, that's not working very well.
No. I mean, I got my sweatshirt and my beanie on right now, and it's I feel a little bit odd.
I got my brand new sweater on. I love it so much. I was looking online, and these people were selling this one sweatshirt that gave me an idea. Like, I'm going to make my own. So I went to the website, made it together. I have Pet Stylist with a pair of shears on the front and the back. I love the back. It says, I forgot what it says.
I don't remember what it says because I can't read it. You're sitting.
I hate being perfect, but I'm a pet stylist, so I kind of have to be. I love this sweater. And so far, it's brought us a couple customers. Oh, you're a pet stylist? You're a groomer?
It actually has, yeah. We'll talk about another part of that a little bit later.
And the rest of our week was busy. We're trying to take in as many people as possible.
Well, we had some we don't have an appointment show ups that because they were such good good customers we accommodated, but
yeah, people that show up that don't have appointments that day.
So we had a couple of those, and it makes a challenge.
When we book out dogs, we try not to book dogs out more than 2 weeks. Because when they start booking out more than 2 weeks, things pop up, people start canceling or rescheduling or forgetting about their appointment. We start getting crazy behind because of it. So we try to take in as many dogs as we can each day where they don't have to wait 2-3 weeks to get in. And then I can't say no. I'm a sucker.
Well, here's what everybody needs to know. Here's where the grooming portion comes into this episode. When you actually are booking for, let's just say your dogs. I mean, obviously when you're doing your own hair, when it's your hair, you kind of know when you need to do it. Life is busy. So when you're booking for a grooming appointment, here's some things you need to know. There's going to be times of the year that are going to be busier than others. Summertime is busy, but then you have the people who are going on vacation because kids are out of school. So summers can get very hectic. Then you have around this time where you have Halloween. Well, that may not be a big holiday, but you're getting your kid ready, or you're getting yourself ready for trick-or-treaters, or you're one of those people who just want to kind of be left alone, turn off the lights, I hate the holiday, which, I know a lot of people like that. Sorry. It's that's giving me the cough.
I'm slowly killing Chris.
She is.
Slowly. Like any good wife, I'm slowly killing my husband.
Who are you going to get to replace me on the show?
Hey, I'm pretty interesting myself, so I could probably do it all by myself.
Can you really publish this? Oh, crud. Yep, she's like, oh, wait, I can't kill him now.
So if it starts getting so busy...
Well, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Ah, back off, woman. Then you go, of course, now we're into November time. Now it's getting ready for Thanksgiving. Everybody's going to you have a lot of people coming in town who are visiting family, so you want to make sure the dog is nice and clean. So right now, every groomer should be booked, which I know we are. Everybody should be booked because what's going to happen is last minute calls are going to come out, not realizing that a lot of people are booking right now. And then you have next month, which is obviously Christmas. You're going to have more people come over to your house. These are the times that it can be really hectic.
A lot of times, since Christmas and Thanksgiving are so close together, people don't need a grooming
They just need
less
a bath.
than 4 weeks together, but yet they need enough to get trimmed.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will get their dog groomed for Thanksgiving, but not for Christmas, or for Christmas and not for Thanksgiving. And it's kind of funny how family can be when they come over. They judge you on every little thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, my family doesn't. I got a freak family. Everybody loves each other, and we don't care as long as we're together. That's the kind of family we're at. But some families, your house has to be sparkling clean. Everything has to be prestige.
If the dog just has one hair out of place, oh my gosh, your dog's a mess.
Yeah, and what does that say about your life?
Yeah, exactly. So
I have so many customers coming in saying, I have my in-laws coming in. I need my dog looking perfect.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's going to happen a lot right around this time of year. So if you have your dogs looking a little bit shabby and you're thinking maybe it's that time I need to call my groomer, this is that time. You really need to pick up your phone right now because it's almost impossible in a couple weeks.
Thanksgiving week, we only have like 2 open slots. And that's...
I bet you anything that gets filled or has already been filled.
Well, that's what I mean. And then it's me taking extra dollars. We start slipping into 12-hour days now. And then I take Black Friday off.
Oh, yeah. No,
Black
Friday is awesome, everybody.
I take it off. I have a 4-day weekend. After putting in 12-hour days for 2 weeks, I'm done.
Well, here's the great part about Black Friday. And, of course, now we're off topic, like always. Way out of our subject matter. But Black Friday is fun to go to. You're up in the crack of dawn or even before that. But you're watching people fight for the stupidest things. I mean, I love watching people fight just to save 3 cents on
a
something.
bath towel.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, we need a fuel filter. Why do you have all the fuel filters? We want one. There's no point, folks. But it's so much fun. We'll go to Walmart. We'll go to Kmart. We'll go to the places.
We score some really good DVDs.
We do. But we'll go there more than anything else, not to shop. We go there to watch the people fight with each other.
I mean, people have their hands on stacks of towels, and when they say go,
they're ripping.
They just plop it in their cart.
Yeah. Oh, it is. If you have never done a Black Friday, and you're just like, why? And you're just like, why am I gonna get up at that time? It's a great show at no cost, and you may actually find something you want to buy. I look forward to it. I look forward to Walmart here.
Well, the biggest thing people need to realize when you're standing in line for one particular item, make friends with the person in front of you.
And behind you, too.
Make real good friends with the person in front of you.
Yeah.
So when they get to it, they just hand it to you.
Yeah.
I did that last year. There was 3 DVDs I wanted for Claire. And there was multiple ones. And I knew I would get one, but just in case someone was being a snot, pushed me out of the way.
Which will happen.
So I made real good friends with the person in front of me. They handed me all 3 DVDs, and I took off.
And that's all it takes. I will go in. Now, I guarantee there'll be a video game that I will find that I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to buy it. Just because it's, $30 off. $30, I will find that as a good deal. $2, I don't find as a good deal.
So, anywho, call your groomer, set up the appointment as soon as you can, and go from there. Now, if they squeeze you in, if they said, okay, well, I can squeeze you in here, be patient with them. groomers don't want to keep your dog all day if they don't have to. But
Oh, yeah, no.
if that's the only way to get your dog in, be patient, be nice. Because they are stressed out. There's a lot going on. Dogs are barking, and people are getting pushy. So be as nice as you possibly can to any of your dog groomers.
Oh yeah, this is that time. If they're saying, "Hey, look, I'll do you a favor. I'll put your dog in." Honestly, this is not one of those, "Hey, we'll do you a favor because we're making money on you." Oh no. This is that time, and I now I'm in my second year of this, and I was lucky to be part of it last year. I got to witness it firsthand last year. Oh my gosh, I was completely just drop jaw to that. Second year, I now feel like I know what to expect. And let me tell you, if a groomer's like, I will squeeze you in, it's only for one reason. They like you, you're a good customer, you're a good person, and they're doing you a favor. Because I promise you, nobody right around this time of year is going to do it for the money. Because every groomer is just packing up right now.
Yep.
So it can be crazy.
So that's basically a projection for our holiday edition.
We'll go more into holidays as time goes on. We do have good news on the Peacock photos that we've been taking. What are we looking at? Do you have the number on?
Well, we're now starting to do Christmas ones. People are liking to put or wanting to put the photo on their Christmas cards to send to family.
Right.
And we're getting a little more creative with this. And if they want their kids in it, we can try to do that too. But right now, the last time I checked, we're at $87. I'm hoping by the next Peacock meeting we'll have at least $100 check to hand them.
Which would be nice. I like to get $100 to them each month, but it probably won't happen.
Yeah, just want to get at least 100 to them, at least enough for them to do something. They sponsored Rambo.
Right, which we'll go into that in a moment.
Well, they sponsored him right off the bat, which normally it doesn't happen that way.
No, they don't just all say in the middle of the night, which it was just about the middle of the night. They don't all go, we'll pull money out of the actual funding and help this out.
And with them doing what they did really made me want to be a foster parent. And we're on the verge of being foster failures, but I would much rather cry seeing him go to a good home than cry to see another animal be put down.
Right.
That I got that off of the pit crew rescue. We'll explain that more when we get to the interview with him. But yeah, it's amazing because all of what they do, and so hopefully we definitely get some change coming their way.
Now let me mention this as well. If you know of an organization that's a wellness, it's a nonprofit organization, maybe you volunteer with it, let them know about the show. You can either comment on iTunes. I don't know if I've never really mentioned this, but if you actually comment on iTunes, because that's where we're on iTunes, we're on YouTube, and we're on Podbean. I don't know how many people know that or not. You can comment on the show. Or, have them send us an email referencing their organization. We can make light to any organization simply by sending us an email to thegroomer.nextdoor@yahoo.com. And that way we'll be able to, get in contact with them. Because, they may be a low receiving organization that could use that kind of up. We're here to do that. There's also, we always thank Squarespace for their contribution to the show. They're the ones who provide us with our website. A lot of people, I don't even know if they know. I see the traffic on the website. You'll see it. You can go to thegroomernextdoor.squarespace.com, and all that's provided by Squarespace, which we also really are grateful to them for that.
Yeah, because we spend some money, and it'll be nice.
We spend quite enough money on putting this thing up.
It's nice that they do that for us.
Yeah.
And, if everybody's kind to people, the world would be so much better. Just be kind. Don't shove things down people's throats. So we help people as much as we possibly can. Hope to do more soon.
I do hope. I think what I like to say. Oh, go on. Sorry. I thought you were done.
No.
I was looking over at the stairs.
But we try to help out with them as much as we can. So if there's another organization, nothing's stopping us to helping them to getting word out, since we can't physically help them there anyways. So we might as well just stick with what we know that we have here, and then use our voice to help others.
Right, and that's it. You know, it's not that we just sit behind microphones each week and do this. We're actually out and about doing things. We're actually doing what we preach, which a lot of people don't. I mean, how many times do you hear of a show that, oh, do this, do that, but when it comes to their off time, they're never doing any of it. We actually do. All right, so moving on, we have a pretty long thing to talk about Rambo. Rambo is just about ready to go out in the world. So, you want to start off with it?
Well, Rambo came to us as a 5-week-old kitten that had ringworm, that had upper respiratory infection, dual eye infection, and emaciated, dehydrated, because it was a very hot summer.
Yeah, starved.
He was starved to the point where he didn't care if he was just fed canned tuna. You know, at that young, they really should still need their mom. And he didn't care, he ate it. We got lucky there that we didn't have to bottle feed him for,
2 weeks?
4 times. Yeah. Now he's 15 weeks old.
Something like that.
Yeah, 15 weeks old, 16, somewhere around there. He's got neutered. Thank you to Kim for taking him out to Bland to get neutered. And
on Monday. Mm-hmm. On Monday, he was. We got an email a week ago today, which, of course, as you guys know, we record on Sundays. On Sunday night, we got an email saying, or actually, it was a Facebook message. I'm sorry, asking if we could have Rambo ready to go out to Bland on Monday morning. Kim was doing transport that day. Everybody who their cats, the fostering committee, I guess you'd call us, our community. We all kind of met up at one location. We brought the cats in, and she put them in her car and headed out to Bland, which I don't know how far Bland is.
I think it was like 20, 30 minutes away.
Is it? I have no idea where it's at. I know I wanted to do something out there, but I just don't have the time. But yeah, he was taken out there. He was neutered on Monday. Carry on.
And we've been giving him daily baths for his ringworm, giving him medicine twice a day for his respiratory infection, eye drops for his eye infection. Well, now he is absolutely beautiful. Pure black cat with a couple little white things on his chest. We put up on Facebook his before and after pictures when we got him and what he looks like now. He loves to snuggle.
Oh man, I have never seen a cat like this. Oh. I mean, it honestly, no joking, folks. This is our first foster, and it very likely could be a foster failure. Not only for the fact that he's not only touched us, but he's also touched our other pets as well. I mean, I don't want to know what it's going to be like for poor Belle when Rambo goes. Rambo will play with Belle. Now, Belle, as some of you know, is a Chihuahua. Belle doesn't play with really any dogs because you got a lab pit, you have, and then you have the Akita, huh?
The Akita.
And they're not small dogs. You look at a little Chihuahua opposed to 75-pound dogs, and you got this not even 5-pound Chihuahua. It's not really anything to play with. But when you have a kitten who is, gnawing at them and playing with them, I mean, those two play
and they're
like puppies.
So quiet when they play.
Oh, wow, it's crazy.
They don't make a sound. They're just rough and tumble, roll around the floor. You just got to watch it where you step.
Yeah, we'll start wrestling. What was it? It was Friday? I think it was. One of you said, "All right, Belle, get Rambo's arm out of your mouth."
Yeah, I was sitting there. I was like, "Belle, drop it."
Yeah, Belle has Rambo's arm in his mouth. Yeah, he's not biting down, or she's not biting down on Rambo,
Belle doesn't have very many teeth to do so.
Yeah, and here's Rambo then on top of Belle, chewing on her ear.
Just doing uppercuts to Belle's face with their claws. No claws, not using claws.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden you see the pad of Rambo smacking Belle upside the face until she stops.
Yep.
And then Bell walks away, and here comes Rambo wiggling his butt, ready to pounce, and
And-
pounces on the back of Bell.
Jumps on her back and knocks Belle down, and the two of them just start rolling around.
Rambo is just amazing.
Oh,
He is great with kids. He's great with our 6-year-old.
litter box trained, luckily.
Now.
Well, yeah, now.
Now.
We had to train him. Like I said,
He would be great in a family with other dogs. He'd be great with family of little children.
Yes.
We-
But I just really would ask, please don't declaw him.
Yes.
I really...
He comes with a lifetime guarantee of nail trimming, as long as I'm in Rolla, or you're in Rolla. Because
Well,
we've been
hey.
split up before. You went overseas.
That is true. I was going to say, well, why would I leave? Why would you leave?
There was times that we've been split up before because of work or whatnot.
I don't think I would accept another job. I mean, there's been some options of leaving, and I thought about it, but...
So, he'll always have a place to get his nails trimmed, his ears cleaned, bath, or whatnot.
Here's a cat that will like baths, too.
They won't have to pay for grooming of him at all. I'll take care of all of that, and I already have an agreement with Keith that
Which
he
means
doesn't have.
I will take care of all that.
Well, we'll see.
Same difference.
I will want full time with him.
I can honestly say, and I'm going on record, I can honestly say I don't know if he's going to go available.
No, I think he will.
I don't know.
Because I would much rather save another life than keep this.
I know,
you
I'm afraid of letting this cat go. I really am. I mean, and I'm really, okay, I said I wasn't going to get attached to him. I promised myself I wouldn't get attached. And this has been a rule for me. Anybody who's out there who wants to foster, I really strongly encourage it. It is the greatest experience that you're ever going to experience, besides having a child.
Right.
Fostering's wonderful. But, man, when you get that perfect animal, I can't promise that you're not going to be a failure. And I don't even call it a failure. It is the perfect cat.
Yeah. He is, and he just needs another vet visit to make sure that his ringworm is cleared up, make sure everything's perfectly fine, everything's working right, and then he'll be.
Plus, do you realize how much we've spent out of pocket? We spent over $100 just to, solidify all of his needs on our part.
Yeah, and that's not including the help from Picard.
Oh, yeah, no.
The neuter plus, the vet visits and the medication and the vitamin B12 shots. That's not including that stuff. It's just our food and the litter and stuff like that.
All the shampoo, ringworm cream, all that stuff. All that stuff.
Oh yeah,
adds
ringworm
up.
cream is expensive. It's like $9 a tube.
It is $9
Oh
a tube
my
plus
gosh.
tax. Yeah, it's $20 for two.
But
And we
it's
bought like
worth
6
it.
of them.
It's worth it for this little guy. Absolutely worth it.
Well, this one, again, I'm curious if we'll be failures, but if he does go available, you literally have the greatest cat you're possibly ever going to find.
If any of you guys are listening that are in the area that just hear our stories and just love the stories and you want to get to know them and you want to see them, then just give us an email. I'll hook you up with the proper paperwork from Picard. I believe there is a adoption fee
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
because they spent quite a bit of money on him. It's not going to be as much money as they spent on him, but it goes to a good cause. And
Well, it
you're
helps.
getting a great cat.
It helps them foster more. I mean, I know we've encouraged a couple people since we've been fostering for them to go out and foster. All right. Well, like we said, he is just about ready. His bags are almost packed. He's almost ready to go.
We got at least one week until we can actually start. That's if the veterinarian gives them the all clear.
I can't promise though. In a week though, I'm not going to have already adopted him. Can't promise. All right. So moving on, I want to talk. Stay on the same topic of Picard. I want to mention an upcoming event that's going to be going on November 17th, right here in Rolla. They're going to be involved with Pizza Inn. Now, if you're in the area, you know anybody in the area, if you're out of the area like Jeff City and you're thinking about, hey, I might swing down, November 17th. I know we have a couple Jeff City listeners. Come down to Pizza Inn. I am not a pizza fan when it comes to Missouri. I've had pizza in a lot of places. I've had the real deal pizza. Chicago was still the best. But California, man, they can make a pizza like
The
you would
only
believe.
problem with Missouri pizza, I guess it's not just Missouri, it's a lot of the Midwest. is
Yeah.
that it's a cracker with toppings put into an oven.
Now, and I know a lot of people, not to offend, I know a lot of people love that kind of pizza.
The thin crust.
They
yeah.
love that thin crust. I want to actually have what
A
is
pizza
called a
pie.
pizza pie. Exactly. There's nothing going to be like that one that we had. Oh my God, that
Chicago.
was. Oh gosh, I'm going to Chicago.
Nothing better than being in the Saks Avenue or the Saks
Saks
Hotel,
Hotel.
and have a double-decker pizza delivered to your hotel.
I guarantee you,
sorry.
I am going back to Chicago relatively soon just to go back to that hotel and have that pizza. That's it. That's why.
I would try another hotel. That hotel is a little stuck up.
It was a little bit stuffy. They wanted to be more, but man, that was in the heart of it all. That was awesome. I like
But
Chicago.
definitely come on by. I can't remember if there's an actual flyer that you had to print out to take in so that they get a portion of the proceeds.
Don't know. I know that there's flyers going out.
I need to contact Glenda because we're on a mailing volunteer list, and
It's more like a chat than a mailing list.
that I am completely confused by. I don't understand what's going on. I'm not used to this, so I'm not sure what's going on myself. But
Well, we're going to mention
Pizza
it.
Inn is very good.
Oh, man.
It's a buffet.
It is a
And,
buffet, but a unique buffet.
Yeah, if there's a pizza that you want one slice of, you just tell them they'll make the pizza right then and put it out for everybody, and you get
Yep.
your one slice.
It is delicious.
Great
I-
salad bar.
I don't usually geek out when
Nice
it comes.
people.
Yeah, really nice people. Some of the proceeds are actually going to go to Peak Hall, so we're really encouraging you to step out. You know, come out to dinner. I think the 17th is on a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken.
We're gonna go.
We're going to be there.
as long as nothing pops up.
Right. Well, the 17th is still, what, 15 days away, and you never know what's going to go on in 15 days.
But also, Peak Hall, they're so, aggressive when it comes to getting out there to help the pets that they're constantly doing something. They're trying not to give Rala, fundraiser fatigue, but, not a cent goes in their pocket.
Yeah, you don't
they're
get paid.
not-
You don't get paid
no.
to be a part of this.
And every once in a while, if you volunteer, maybe you can get a little kickback from the treats that didn't sell. Like, oh my gosh. When we went to the Arts and Crafts Festival,
Oh, yeah.
One of the ladies from Peak Hall baked cat treats and dog treats. Our dogs went
Yeah.
bonkers.
Well, we always tell you guys when we're going to be doing an event with them and they have a booth set up, almost every time, if not every time, there's always these treats that are made. Let me tell you.
no preservatives. Oh my gosh.
When we tell you there's an event and you're in the area, you really want to come down for those treats. They are, I don't know how they taste, but I know the dogs go
and the
ballistic.
cats go nuts
Oh,
on
yeah.
them too. They fight. I have to
Well-
separate them to feed them.
The dogs actually will go after the cat treats too, so you got to make sure on that one. But yeah, definitely.
But
Oh
it's
man.
safe for the dogs too. It just has a lot more than what they should have.
Right.
They're a
But
little richer.
definitely, it's something you really want to think about. I know we've already talked about Pit Crew Rescue. I wasn't able to do this interview. This is the interview I'm giving to you. I am looking so forward to it. I'm looking forward to actually just hearing all about it, and I already have talked to Sarah. I know the next direction we're gonna go. I want to go back to Hawaii for interviews, for a show out, for interview show portion. That's going to be one of the things I really want to do next. We're going to be doing a shelter with the Akitas. And
Yeah,
of
we gotta
course,
find one. I know there's
plenty.
a lady out in Arizona. I think it's Arizona,
Huh.
maybe New Mexico. But when we were looking to get an Akita before my dad passed away,
I thought that was Tennessee.
no, that was one of them.
Oh, okay.
But that was just a rescue. This is an actual Akita rescue. And my brother was going to come from California, pick up the dog, and bring it to Missouri.
Oh, yes. Well,
really
we're,
sweet lady.
we're
so
definitely going to be going
I
to
gotta
that.
find her information.
Those,
again.
those will be on the list. I really do want to keep an interview per episode. I really do want to keep that up. I hope everybody is enjoying this. I really do. I hope they're enjoying this show. All right, so I just wanted to, again, mention Picture Rescue. I'm looking really forward to it. I
Well, the
don't.
guy was super nice, very good. He's got a very strong New York accent.
Which is really why I wanted this. I wanted that so bad. I want a Canadian. I really want to have a Canadian because I do like me the Canada. I mean, I'm looking forward. Again, let's move off the normal topic of pets. Like I've always said, Kevin Smith is a huge inspiration to me. And he's got a series of 3 movies that are being made that are all Canada trilogy based. He's got, if you haven't seen Tusk, then it'll be Yoga Hoser and then Moose Jaw. They're all a Canadian movie kind of trilogy. I'm looking forward to it all. I do my little Canada thing on Fridays.
I just think it's kind of funny right now is that, a lot of my friends from California, they're telling me that I'm getting more and more of a country accent.
Oh, you are.
And he had to stop me a few times when I was talking to him on the phone. And
There you go.
He said, "What?" That I had to stop and say, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah, she definitely has drank the Kool-Aid. That is true. You have.
But really super nice guy. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Well, I don't listen to our show. I can't listen to it. I can't. I mean, I have to listen to it when I'm in post-production, putting all this together. I don't want to hear it. I'm not vain. I don't want to hear myself talk. So it's kind of one of those funny things. But man, I get to finally listen. Like when you and Rena were on, I got to listen to that whole part as just a listener, and it was so much fun.
Rena.
I love. Well, in a week's time, do you realize how? Oh, I know I do. I talk to Rena and Randy quite a lot. Always enjoy it.
I miss them so much.
It's yeah.
If there's any family that I want my daughter to grow up with, and that would be Randy and Rena and little Ariel and Griffin.
I won't say I don't want to still work with Randy, because I do. I would like to. I like the concept, but man, it'd be hard to give up what we're doing. 1, I'd have to move, and 2, I'd have to travel a lot again. I don't know.
All right, so what's next on our agenda?
All right, so I am going to actually play you Ain't Nobody Got Time for That Moment. It comes actually from this past Friday. I actually read about it. It is local out in St. Louis. A lot of you guys all around the country, even in Canada, you've of course heard about Ferguson, Missouri. Well, Ferguson is in St. Louis. This is just a separate incident, but it had pet related, kind of frustrated me, so I thought I would actually play it, and we'll talk about it. So sit back, and, well, I can't say enjoy, but get a little bit.
Take a listen.
Yep.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for.
And in St. Louis City, a person shot and killed while walking 2 dogs.
That shooting happened along a very busy Hampton Avenue near Dogtown, just as families were heading out for Halloween.
Fox 2's Rebecca Roberts talked with investigators. Rebecca.
Mandy and Tom, very sad story tonight. As you mentioned, we're told that a man and his 2 dogs were shot and killed right in this parking lot where I'm standing at the back of this Subway restaurant here on Hampton, just south of 40 in Dogtown. The cleaning crews just finished up cleaning the scene about an hour ago. Now, according to St. Louis City Police, the shooting happened just before 5:30 this evening. When officers got to the scene, they found a white male victim in his mid-30s shot in the neck. He was transported to the hospital where he died of his injuries. According to the Humane Society of Missouri, 2 dogs belonging to the victim were also shot. A 2-year-old female pit bull boxer mix died at the scene, and a male pit bull boxer mix was taken to the Animal Emergency Center, where he too was pronounced dead. The Humane Society's Animal Cruelty Task Force was at the scene in addition to homicide investigators. Meanwhile, there is a suspect, and he's still on the loose. Police are still investigating a motive in this shooting and are trying to determine if and how the suspect and victim knew each other.
Seen on the scene was a black male suspect who was last seen in a vehicle traveling northbound on Hampton from this location, and the investigation is ongoing, still ongoing at this time.
Humane Society spokesperson Jean J tells me that necropsies will be performed on the 2 deceased dogs. That information will be handed over to police to help in their investigation. Meanwhile, if you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers or the police department's homicide division. Reporting live in Dogtown, Rebecca Roberts, Fox 2 News.
All right, so I played it. I wanted to actually play more of a relevant, recent story because obviously some of the stories that I get my hands on are week, 2 weeks old, and you know some people have already discussed it. You know, the violence, not only here but everywhere. It needs to really stop. I mean, whatever the case may have been for this guy to have shot this other guy is irrelevant. It's between him and them. It's stupid. It didn't need to happen. It's not a way of actually, satisfying a problem or confronting a problem. But then to kill the 2 dogs is just ridiculous. I have to ask the question, what is wrong with you? Luckily it's an open investigation. They're going to find this guy. Unfortunately he won't face as much charges on killing 2 dogs as he will the murder, but he'll go away. But it's just like, why kill the dogs?
Yeah, I don't even really want to talk about it myself, honestly. I'll start getting teary-eyed. I'll start, my voice will start cracking up. It comes down to the same thing. Like when we spoke about the UPS driver.
Yeah.
The police officers who shoot the dogs when they're in their own cage. That's ridiculous.
Well, there's a lot of those stories that are out there.
That doesn't need to happen.
That's the other thing. There's a lot of these stories of police officers with canine units, and I've been asked the question, well, why don't I post those? I refuse to acknowledge these idiots that unfortunately have the luxury, and I'm going to say that because I have police officers as friends. It's a luxury to be a police officer, and I will not put a-holes who are going to be lucky enough to have canine officers and partners. I will not put that on this show because I don't want to demoralize what they do. There's always going to be a couple bad apples in every kind of group, and I will not bring the police department down for that because every department or every county has at least one canine officer. You think on how many officers in the United States have a canine partner. How many U.S. soldiers have canine partners? You're demoralizing what they're doing by 1 or 2 idiots.
It just drives me insane. Well,
it does.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right. So I wanted to put it out there. I'm just sick and tired of hearing about crime. I'm sick and tired of seeing stupid things like this. It just gets me upset. So I wanted to add that into this one. But all right, moving on. So let's see.
You want to go into the video?
Yeah, actually, that's the last thing that I want to go into. Yes.
Okay, so unfortunately, since there is no actual video that we can play for, verb. Oh my gosh. Verb isn't any actual speaking.
No audio.
Audio. Hey.
Yeah, that's why I'm the producer here.
The A goes to Chris. There's no audio to this video that we saw that Chris tagged me in on Facebook, but it is a video of Cesar Millan.
Which, let me go on record here. I am really upset with him in many ways. One, I've asked him to be on this show, and I have not got a response back. Now, let me tell you guys, I will continue to pursue Cesar Millan to go on this show. And until he responds to me, I am not going to justify this.
Well, there's this video that is on YouTube.
Nope, it's not on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
They pulled it, didn't they?
No, this is different.
Oh.
So there is let me get to it. Silly me. I should have had that up the whole time. Okay. Alright. It's called, Why Did Cesar Millan Get Bit? And basically it says, Millan versus Holly. His dog's name's Holly. Holly is a Labrador who is food aggressive. Food aggressive means when you put the food in the bowl, you back away and you try to go back down, they'll bite.
Now that could be
There's-
just to drop a treat in their bowl. I mean, it doesn't have to be to take their bowl. You could be, reaching down, put a couple dog treats in, they would bite at you.
Yep.
Even though you're the owner, and they should actually have that submission to know this, not all dogs actually have that mentality.
Okay, so Holly has a aggressive to food problem. Now, Roxy did too when we first got there. Roxy was very food aggressive.
Yep.
Because where she came from, they were not nice. And they taught her to be food aggressive. It wasn't intentional, but they did it. Now, Cesar Millan has been criticized many times as a controversial dog trainer. Some dog trainers don't believe in his methods, some do. To each their own, as long as they get to the same point is all that matters, as long as there's no abuse. Now, this particular video is slowed down in certain spots so they can put up written words, text.
Right.
They're talking more about the dog's body language and how not to or what to do, their own 2 cents. Anyhow. So what Cesar was trying to do is put the food down, let her eat it, okay? And then, yes, to take it away, okay? Most of the time, you won't need to take dog's food away, but there's this instance, like, I've dropped stuff in dog's food before, and I'm, oh, crud, I gotta get that, and pulled the dog's bowl away so I can get it. So there's reasons for needing to put it down and pick it right back up. Well, what he did, what they like to think he did, is punch the dog in the throat. With the camera moving as slow as it did, they slowed it way down where you couldn't see. Everything was all blurry.
Yeah, it was.
What he did is that he did like a stiff finger jab. And it was more or less his thumb and the throat or the neck went in between his thumb and his index finger. That little spot right there. And he did it real quick to break the dog's line of concentration. And then backed the dog away from its food. Made the dog submit. Now, the biggest problem is that he didn't make the dog submit all the way.
Yeah.
The dog wasn't fully relaxed before he tried to move again, and the dog bit him.
Well, okay, I will stop you on that. For one, I thought that they slowed down the video at the point where he was trying to break the will of the dog. They slowed it down till it was almost like this aggressive standoff by him, which I don't believe that he was standing there in that one pose for that long. He was almost in that pose for like a minute. I don't believe that was going on.
Right.
You're right. The dog did not fully submit, did not know its boundaries. But there was one thing that really got me, that really frustrated me, is they put some text up right there that said, right before he got bit, watch Cesar Millan. He reaches in to the dog with the same hand that he, and I use the word in quotations, air quotes, punched the dog with.
Right.
And that's how they actually verbalized it on here. So they're saying, look, he punches him with this hand, which, Sarah showed me the video as well, the part where it wasn't a punch. And I'm not a trainer, I don't have this experience, so I don't have anything to say, but she showed the part where it's like, it's not a punch, number one. But two, they're saying that, well, he punched him with the right hand, and then went to pet him with the right hand. It was the dog was thinking he was going to get punched again. Completely ignorant by that statement. And of course, they're leading the audience to believe one thing or another.
Exactly, and that's what drives me bonkers. I mean, to train eye, you can see it. Now, some trainers are getting a little upset with Cesar Millan because people are starting to take his advice and take it to home and not needing trainers.
Yeah.
You always should take your dog to a trainer. No matter what you saw on TV, you still need to take it to an actual trainer.
And please, enlighten us with the Jessie Queen mentality. Why is that?
Then you can, focus on stuff one-on-one.
Because, like she always says, you train the people, not the animal.
Exactly, and you can't watch a show and all of a sudden be an expert.
Exactly.
So, it's an entertaining show to watch. He has helped many animals throughout his years, you know, they were going to put him down. They're just going to kill the dog until he came in.
Well, the whole point is that we all know this. We've been subject to this as well. When you have success at something, there's going to be somebody who's going to be angry that you're successful at it and bitter. Well, that's the case in this situation. Cesar Millan has made millions of dollars from doing a TV show. Okay.
All the books,
the touring,
everything.
the books. I mean, look, he was just in Baltimore, and then he went to Tijuana, which I thought was kind of an odd switch of places. But he was, doing a tour. People really don't want to see that. They feel I'm, and I'm not talking about the ones we know. I'm just seeing, saying the haters out there of trainers out there who are saying, well, I do the same thing. Why is he getting all of it and I'm not?
Yeah. So what he was doing with the stiff, hand movement to the side of the neck, for one, it wasn't the soft part of his throat. It was the side of the neck where most of the muscles are. It wasn't his trachea. It wasn't the esophagus. It was the side of the neck. It broke the line of trance. The dog was focus, and then you break the focus moved from the food to him, and then the dog backed down. Now, when Holly wasn't fully submitting yet. You can tell by the body language she wasn't fully submitted. So he was jumping the gun a little. Nobody's perfect. Cesar Millan's not perfect. There's.
Well, let's be realistic though. When you're at Cesar Millan's level, you do have a little bit of a. I don't want to use the word arrogance because that's not the case. But you have more of a, I know a little bit more, so he probably was a little bit too confident at the time.
Yeah.
And that probably was the one drawback on that.
The dog just, once he got submit, he moved his hand and all of a sudden the dog bit him.
Right.
Actually
Could have done a lot
grabbed-
worse.
Right. Had him pretty good.
Yeah.
And, he did use his legs to try to get him off. But once the dog got off, Cesar put him into a corner. Now, they said, well, his body language is saying he needs space. Give me space. Get out of my space. Problem is, if you give a dog that's already aggressive what it wants, it knows it can get it again.
Yes.
When I work with puppies at work, puppies can either be super sweet, totally mellow, or super aggressive. So the aggressive ones, they bite. I don't muzzle puppies. So I end up getting bit quite a bit. Well, I'm not going to back off because he bit me once, because then he thinks that he can bite again. So when a dog's asking for space, you do not give it to him because you are the alpha. You cannot let them bite you more. There might be other ways of getting a dog to be better during food aggression, but I haven't found any. Roxy, we made her submit completely.
Yes.
Where she was laying on her side and head down on the ground before we let her back up. And then she hasn't had a problem since. Claire can go up to her food bowl. We go up to her food bowl. The cat goes up to the food bowl.
Well, I'm going to take that even a step further. When Roxy and I play, really play, you'll hear Roxy growl, snarl, show teeth.
Vicious.
It sounds
vicious.
and looks absolutely like she's going to kill me. Now, is that going to happen? No. If my hand went in her mouth, she wouldn't bite down. It is the act of play, but of course she gets overly excited. Now, if somebody walked by and saw that, they would think it would have been a dog attack, which it's not. In this circumstance, I loved in the video how they slowed things down. They made it look like the dog was profusely blinking, licking its lips. They really did edit the video specifically. I mean, you can tell an edit like that because there was no real audio until they wanted it in there. They detached the audio and added in more of a sound bite of their own.
Yeah, you can have a video of Mother Teresa going up and helping the poor, and then make it look like she's being some vindictive witch.
Hey, if anybody has a video right now of Mother Teresa that was taken this last week, I would be amazed to watch it.
Insane in general.
No. If you've got a video of Mother Teresa this past week, please email it to the groomernextdoor@yahoo.com. I would love to see it. Maybe she's with Princess Diana.
I'm gonna smack you.
Okay. It's an audio podcast. They can't see that.
Oh, they can hear it. they can hear it. Big old smack, especially with cold hands.
That is true.
So then he backs him up into the corner and stays there. Well, they cut the video right then.
Yeah, there's
nothing else.
there's no conclusion to this story. There's only what you want to be seen. I mean, it was a BS. I don't, when I posted over to you, it's like, I'm no trainer. I don't know if this is right or wrong. I have no idea. And then we started discussing it last night, and then we discussed it today, and it's like, obviously we both see aggressive dogs every so often. And, I still say my favorite line that you gave me is, well, I do aggressive dogs, so therefore you do aggressive dogs. Thank you, Sarah.
That will live in infamy.
That will live in it. So I've walked into kennels before where the dog is snarling and lunging out. Oh yeah, it's frightening, but they have to know who's in charge.
Well, that's the thing. A dog, their mentality is nobody's in control, so I have to be in control. That is a primal instinct for anybody. If somebody's not in control, then I have to be.
Again, though, let's refer to children, though. A child is going to push his boundaries until it finds out, went too far.
Yeah, I'm not the parent. So.
Exactly. I mean, Claire does it all the time. She will push her boundaries until, there it is.
When you start out with a puppy, like I said, I don't muzzle them. When they go to bite, you don't do a stiff finger jab because they're so tiny.
Oh, yeah.
But you
collapse their trachea.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
You smack the table very loud, very abruptly.
Yes.
You shake a can with pennies in it. Some people squirt with water. I'm not a fan of it, but some people do. I'm not going to squirt a perfectly dry and clean dog with water.
I can see some people, and I definitely would say, please, I hope I never find the person. I have suspicions, but I can see where there'd be an aggressive dog and give an ice-cold bath.
Yeah, there have been people who have done that too.
I've heard of it.
That is wrong.
Yep. You can only give the dog shock and even cause heart attack.
And just make it worse.
And yeah, exactly. How do you explain that?
But when a puppy's doing it, the smack on the table, the not letting go. Like some dogs don't like their chin hair held onto.
Oh yeah.
And they
I'm with you on that one.
But if you're just holding their chin and you start out very nicely to see how they like it and they don't, well, eventually they have to hold still because you have to get that hair in between their eyes or they're going to get eye infections.
Right.
Because most people don't know how to maintain proper eye care with long hair in between their eyes like show dogs would. So you need them to stop.
Right.
Well, you start training them little by little, especially with their feet. They don't like their feet messed with. Well, how do you think they get over it? It's by people constantly playing with their feet.
Yeah. So, if you have a puppy, play with their feet. Just constantly play with their feet because, oh my gosh, that could be hectic.
The clippers can be loud. They're vibrating. They're little dogs, so it's very intense.
Right.
So I pop my blade off my clipper. I turn my clipper on. I put it on their body. Well, as they're screaming for it because they're trying to get you to stop, they want their space. Well, if you just stopped, then you just taught them it's okay to scream because I'll stop.
Right.
So you hold the clippers to the body and make sure that they're not squirming to the point they're going to hurt themselves. And you put the clipper without the blade on because dangerous things can happen there. And you put it up against their body.
And they just feel vibration.
They're screaming. They're screaming so loud. You can hear it in rooms across. Because that's the only thing they know how to do to get people to stop doing something is by screaming or biting.
Right.
So I've done that where they're screaming and screaming wasn't working, so they turned to biting. Once they realize that all because of the little blood coming off my hands from them puncturing my skin, I'm not stopping. And then eventually they go, fine, get it done.
Yeah, they submit. They do submit after a while.
And then they're perfect for the rest of their life. They only have to deal with this for an hour every 6 weeks, 8 weeks. They don't have to deal with it every day.
It is difficult when those same dogs only come in once a year. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the next subject because we're kind of running normally, right around the normal time. But, I want to, close with Claire's soccer. So I am going to now segue into Claire's interview, very last interview of the fall season.
This is the Groomer Next Door Sports News.
It is November 1st, 2014, and Claire just finished her last soccer game of the season. How did everything go?
Good.
Want to tell me about it?
Yes.
Tell us how'd the game go?
Good. It was great. I almost scored.
Really? Yeah, it was real close. It actually hit the side of the net and bounced out of bounds. You did really well this season. I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
You're not an interviewer this after this game. Really sad for me because I just finished my first coaching season with Claire. Really sad to see it end. But we have to look forward to springtime.
Yes.
So,
What color do you wish to be?
what color do you hope to be next season?
Green.
Green.
I mean, yellow.
You want to be yellow. All right. Now, next season, Mommy and Daddy are going to be the coaches, right?
Yes.
So we are looking forward to next season. I think this concludes Claire's Soccer Corner. If you're on my Facebook and you're one of my friends, you'll actually get to see the montage of the season. Thank you to Sarah for shooting all the video. Next season, we'll have an actual point of view camera where one of us will be wearing it when we're actually out there on the field. This ends this year's soccer edition. Anything else you want to say?
No. I mean, yes. They were great, and I had fun.
All right. Well, that's everything. Bye-bye, everybody. That is our little girl. I am so proud of Claire this past fall season. For any of you who are on my Facebook page, you saw the video that I made, the montage video of Claire's soccer season. Thank you, Sarah. You were the one who shot all the footage. Next season, I will be wearing. Well, actually, we both will be both coaching next season. I will be wearing a GoPro at that time when Claire's on my side and when Claire's on your side, because like I've said in previous episodes, you split the team in half. I'll wear a GoPro one game when I have her, and you'll wear the GoPro the next. So we'll have a longer video, more in-depth video. But I am so proud of her. But not only her, I had a great time this season. I took on this role because I did not want to be a parent on the sideline. I mentioned it before. Playing sports, I couldn't sit on the sideline. I wanted to be our daughter's very first coach. And what I learned from this season was not only how proud I was of our daughter. I mean, that I already knew, but just to be able to be on the same field as these little kids, these 6-year-olds that were phenomenal. Every Monday, go out to practice, have fun with these kids.
The one practice I got to sit in on was great. I enjoyed those kids. They were so much fun. And what's great about kids this young, the world hasn't gotten to them yet.
Yes, there's purity.
Yeah, the world has not, screwed them over at any point. They're still just so happy and, hopefully, with the little bit that I did, that they can take away with something. Hey, you know what? It was fun.
I thought that the entire I am still, the game ended yesterday, last game yesterday. I can honestly say I am going to miss being on the field with these kids. I have until about late March, early April to wait until I can go back to do this again. I am definitely petitioning to keep these kids as my team. I was told that they usually keep the same coach. I am definitely going to fight tooth and nail to keep a lot of these kids on my side.
Well, the parents were pretty happy with you guys, and the kids that you had on your team, the parents were always really happy. So. And
the kids actually chose to be on, because we would, in pregame, we would actually, make the teams up, simple by, the coach's last name. And, obviously Claire was on my side. The other coach, he had his son. I want to be the coach of my own team next year. I want to make sure that any parent or any kid that was on the squad, I want them to decide what coach they want next year. I will definitely strongly petition this because I want to make sure that if I can keep a couple of those kids, at least the ones that seem to be on my squad every week. I don't need to have them all, but I do want to have those kids back. I enjoyed little Abby every week. Man, that little girl, she was so adorable. She put everything out there. Clara was always so much fun having her. She's this young little gymnastic that you just know that she'd be a gymnastic later on as she gets older. Being tackled by the kids all the time. It was an event that every week I am so proud of the moment. I feel like there's an empty spot now. Claire, I don't think she's yet understanding the value of this. It's still something new to her.
Well, she's just so, ADD when she thinks about things.
Yeah, she's OCD, ADD.
Yeah, she wants to...
Like her dad.
About what's next?
Yep.
What's next?
Well, she would always say that. Her and Clara would always say when it was about 20 minutes before the game would end, how much longer do we have?
I want to go do something else.
I'm ready to go and do something else. It's like, no, come on, this is great. Oh, but, they're learning the fundamentals. So I made this video because I just loved every moment. I got to see our daughter score her very first goal. I remember scoring my first goal in hockey. Oh my God, it was like I just, discovered electricity. It was the greatest moment. I remember my first assist. I kicked the puck. That's all I did was kick a puck to another player who scored a goal. We're talking 20 years ago this happened. And I can remember it as if it happened yesterday. I can't remember yesterday as well as I can remember that. I just so proud of her, so proud of the team. Looking forward to next spring. I can't say enough.
Right.
So that ends. This will be the ending of the soccer sports section of this show. Now I know you wanted to mention something before we close.
Yeah, I forgot to mention too when grooming the puppies that are super aggressive. Once they relax and they realize that the grooming isn't a bad thing, and they didn't, after they get through that breaking point of this isn't going to be a big deal, that's when you stop. They were perfectly fine for shaving the foot, say. And beforehand, they were super aggressive, just biting, trying to get you to leave them alone. And you finally finish a section like the foot, then you stop and you just play with them. You praise them. You go, good job, yay! You play with them, let them jump up on your shoulder, let them give you kisses, and then go back and do it again.
And that's the funny part, though, with an aggressive dog, or at least somewhat, standoffish dog. They do that. They will start giving you kisses, and it's almost, it's really kind of odd. One minute they're mad and they're just, I'm gonna bite you, and then when they realize that you're not a threat, man, they just love you, and it's almost like, I'm sorry.
I didn't realize that's what you're doing. I'm sorry.
Once they get that,
I forgot to add that in there. It's not just you break their will. It's then build them up.
Yes.
It's very much like people.
Very much.
With bad habits, you break them down, and then you build them back up.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You build it up with the positive reinforcements. Good job. I love you. Give me kisses. I forgot to add that part in.
Well, I think that concludes this week's episode, and I always feel bad right around this time.
Right now, I kind of would like to get in a warm car. So.
Well, I always feel bad. Because it ends another episode. I always think about this on Friday. Friday, getting off of work, I think, okay, I got a couple days. I got a podcast to record. I'm looking forward to this. And then we get to the podcast. I get all excited, and then we get to this stage, and then it's over.
I'm looking forward to the next podcast, though.
I'm looking forward to the next podcast, too. Maybe we may get more than just one interview in. Who knows? Probably would. If we get more than one, I'll probably store one. But, all right, everybody. Well, I am Chris Green. This concludes episode 52. And have a pup-tastic week.
And I'm Sarah Green. Remember, folks, life is so short. Play with your pet.
Goodbye, everybody.
Okay, gotta go. It's my bedtime.